Hello, hello, everyone. Greetings. I am returned. I am Calypso, and this is Deadhaus Whispers, where we talk about all things Deadhaus Sonata, be it books, movies, television, music, even, and
All
everything
things
related,
Deadhouse.
all things Deadhouse related. And for those of you who somehow still don't know, I think 8 episodes in, Deadhaus Sonata is a spiritual successor to Legacy of Kain. It is a narrative-driven action RPG in which you play the undead fighting the living. Deadhaus Sonata development is leading on PC and will support all major platforms. You name it, it'll probably be on there. And today, there is a magical operation of maximum importance for our topic.
Mhm.
So I think we're just going to be blabbing a little bit about just lore and narrative, and how that
Essentially.
can possibly feed into Deadhouse and where it may or may not go, or where we want it to go,
I'm
and
just
what
going to
you
throw
guys might
this
want
up
to
here for a
see.
little bit of inspiration.
Yeah, and
This
what you guys might want
is
to see where it goes.
some
What is
version of the
this?
Undercity.
That's I don't remember this one at all, and I think I've seen everything. This is where like wraiths and stuff are made, right? Like
This is
this.
kind of like that Undercity bit.
Yeah.
Hello, Wyvern Tamer.
Hello, hello. Oh, and
Hi,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Christmas City. Yeah. It's very quickly how you take the
It
Christmas
is.
colors and invert it and it turns evil, but then invert it back again and it suddenly becomes Christmassy.
Next thing you know, in the distance, you're gonna see like an undead Santa and like floating
The
skeleton
Hogfather.
reindeer.
The Hogfather.
The Hog Father.
Hey, Bishop. You're going to
Yeah,
be
this
getting
is
the
really
undead Hogfather.
gorgeous. Now it makes me think like, okay, so we have an undercity in Deadhouse. Does that mean everything built above Malarum is something built on top of this like vast undercity that maybe covers the entire world of
Okay,
Malarum? How interesting would that be?
funny part of that. So recently in the Deadhouse Discord, people were talking about how big is Malorum? How big is the world of Deadhouse? And they're like, oh, but it extends this far. It's like, that map looks pretty small. It's like, okay, maps are very, very deceptive. It's a representation, it's not at a scale. Secondly, you're judging on the cartographer knowing what the hell they're doing. They could be wrong. That's the excuse they use in World of Warcraft anyway when they magically put in a new island that no one
Oh,
else.
that's right. That's
You
right.
know, the cartographers were wrong. But what I brought up was, um, who says the landmass is all that's there? Because as you pointed out, Calypso, there is an undercity bit, but also in of Banshees, didn't they like
That's right. They did. They went into another
they went
weird dimension.
they went somewhere. They weren't in Kansas anymore. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I also think that I think people forget that like if you look at a world map, if you're looking at like our world, the Earth, if you look at Earth's map, it is very small, and all you have is the geography of America and China and Russia and like everywhere else, and it's flat or whatever. It's not rounded like the world is. So what if for Malarum it's the exact same thing? What if the world is like rounded or trapezoidal or whatever shape they want to go with, and that's just a flat earning of that world. So you wrap it around something, you have a ton on the other side, and then you have a Malarum over here, a ton over here, or wherever, whatever dead house is. What would that? Because
Exactly.
you have a ton, and then you have, is it Malarum? Malarum's the world,
East,
right? And not
if you look at the map, one bit says
maybe. I
Esau,
guess. I guess it would
and
be
the other one
Thracia.
says Atan. The
Yeah,
world that we know it is called
Malarum.
Malorum,
Yeah, or Malorum.
but there could be more.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't know.
I mean, there is that theory of pocket universes or multiverses and stuff that'll probably maybe be a thing within Deadhouse.
Oh,
So
judging by Dennis's previous work,
yeah,
I would be
yeah.
shocked if
It,
we didn't have something like that.
it is an octahedron. The world itself is an octahedron. That would be super interesting. Look at the maps of Lord of the Rings books. Yeah, those things are huge, but it's like, and it covers the entire world. But it's yeah. I love Lord of the Rings.
Wyvern Tamer, you're saying it's an octahedron, but is it sitting on the back of a turtle?
And then a clown kills it.
Hey, in the books, didn't the
Or a giant
turtle?
ball
Yeah.
of light.
Anyway,
I guess it was a
we're
giant
not
ball
going
of
to
light,
get into
right?
that different
Yeah, that's a
franchise.
whole different can of worms.
Technically canon, as they are all Lovecraftian, and as we know, all Lovecraftian
That
is
is
canon
true.
towards one another.
Yep, that is
So
true.
here's the lovely Oscarox. We know there's stuff under it. What we've
Yeah.
seen may have been what's under it, but
Yeah.
bugger if we know.
I think we discussed this, geez, what, 2 weeks ago now? I would love if we could go into another dimension or another time, like time travel, even though I hate time travel. And we see like a healed Oscarox where it's not destroyed. You know,
What if, now hear me out. What if we are all in the hammer?
yeah,
You know the way the Soul Reaver rendered the souls of anyone it hit? What if everyone in Malorum is all just in that big hammer?
that would be an interesting
What if we
thought.
are in the Pocket Universe?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be really interesting also. Like, and then maybe in, like, one of the ages or years, we get out of the Pocket Universe, and instead of going to Malarum, we explore an entirely new continent or world that isn't Malorum. I'm never gonna get that correct.
I'm going to be pissed if, like, 6th, 7th, 8th age, whatever down the line, we start. It's like, okay, yeah, let's go. Let's start a new age, and then all of a sudden we're in the back of a cart. Oh, you're finally awake.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
It was all a dream. You're finally awake.
That'd be great for an April Fool's joke. Like the intro is just
you got
Skyrim.
caught going over the board.
Yeah. Hey, you, what are you doing over there or whatever? Oh man. No. So I have this thought. What's this? That wouldn't need to be a time travel thing. It could be a flashback from an older undead. That is true. It could be a flashback with the whole healed Oscarox. So I have this thought of, and now I guess Wyvern Tamer is expanding upon it with flashbacks and everything.
This is where I'm going to get in trouble, but I reckon make Oscarox great again.
Make Oscarox. What if, or actually, I guess that'd be a mechanic thing. Like, what if narratively, so we have, for those of you, like, new to this whole Deadhaus thing and everything like that, so you have a Grand Inquisitor Alaric, and he's a chronicler, and he, all the radio plays that are now podcasts and stuff on Amazon and Spotify and everything, you can find them. I actually argue that the radio plays are better as podcasts rather than the little YouTube videos they have, even though you get that nice visual element. They've been mixed to a better degree for Amazon and like podcast elements to where it sounds just way better, personally to me anyway. And that's exactly my new profile picture. So
I know it's Eric, not Alaric, but still.
Yeah. So you have Alaric, who's a chronicler for Deadhaus and everything. What if everything that we're playing as and all the ages or whatever are just part of his chronicle, and everything is past tense, and then like the ending of the story is it's a Looney Tunes villain in a grimdark world. That's really good. Alaric is a Looney Tunes villain in a grimdark world. I love that. He's like a worse Wile E. Coyote almost. But no, okay, so let me finish my thought. What if everything that we're playing for all the ages, age 1, 2, 3, 10, is just part of Alaric's chronicle? So we're pretty much just playing what he's writing, and then maybe like the big twist ending will be he's undead in the first place.
He's actually mad. None of it's real.
Yeah, or it's like, it was all
Crazy,
a dream, something like that. Like, and then I'm going to go put this in a coffee shop, and then his book ends up becoming like a coffee table book or whatever.
Turns out
like,
it's actually Deadpool reading a nighttime bed story.
Yeah, something. I think that would be really cool. And I love this Baron Alaric work. It's not my favorite, but I like it. I get it, but it's not my favorite, but I get it. Yeah. So for those of you listening and watching and just now joining us, sometime down the road, There was a concept artwork released for Baron Auric or Auric. And on one of the founders packs, which you can pick up at deadhausnot.com/store, I believe, you get to have that as an item in your inventory. Like, he'll be attached to your belt. And what Baron Auric is, he's a floating head that was killed by Lord Zorin, millennia ago, forever ago, right? The concept artwork that they've settled on is he looks kind of like a Don Juan, like Don Juan sort of character. He's got a goatee and a mustache, and the look on his face is
Don
just
Juan the
very,
Deadhaus.
yeah, he's just very disappointed, I guess, and just fed up with everything. Is like the
He's
look on
done
his
with
face.
Zoran shit. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's
done with
totally
Zoran
finished.
shit.
It's not my favorite version of it, but I do love it. It is my new.
I thought it was great. Here's one though, right? So the most recent stream, it was about narrative, and we were talking about narrative and world design, and we were talking about plugging the World Anvil. By the way, anyone, if you're not on that, there's links on deadhausnonata.com to sign up to the World Anvil, so you can submit your own stories, and certain ones may or may not be taken as canon further down the line.
Yes. You can get there at worldanvil.com/w/Deadhaus Sonata. Yikes.
Yep. I highly recommend everyone signing up to that. But while we're on that topic, right? So we've been going through the Chronicles most recently. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you go on to deadhausonata.com, you can look at the lore section, and we read the Necro Libertas. Right?
Yes.
This has all the information in, like, the Seven Sons of Twilight. We've all this background information in regards to Deadhaus. There's even mention of the book in the book because it was re-edited and done and destroyed and put back together and all sorts of stuff. Why are the radio plays from the humans' perspective?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, why aren't they part of the Necro?
That's a very, very
Libertas
pointed narrative detail. Everything has been from the perspective of the dead towards the living. But for the narrative bits, it's been Alaric talking of his first encounters with each of these beings. Not this being's discovery, his particular first encounter.
Yeah.
That seems like it might be important.
I think I can't recall who has this theory. It might be Varric, or it might even be Golden Zan. I think it's Varric. Varric believes that the Necro Libertas, the book, the Deadhaus Bible, if you will, is written by Nagaztak, who is the king of Deadhaus, or the emperor, essentially, like the ruler of Deadhaus. It's his book. It's written by him. He is a revenant poet, after all. So Seven Sons is his birth. Then you have, Sonata of Justice is all about his soul-eating hammer that, opens Pock universes theoretically. The only things that aren't his are Words, which is the vampire scholar. It's Zorin. You have the Summoning. You have Lamentations, which is Tosi, the lich leader, essentially. You have all that. So it's like, was the Necro Libertas written by Nagaztak, and the words and everything are just him writing down his own chronicles from his general and people that are part of his army?
We will consult the book.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
I've just been really wanting to do this. This is really
good. So
we will consult the book.
What if it's that? My other theory is that, it's very Necronomicon-ish, written by the mad Arab al-Hazred or whatever. It's there's multiple copies of it within Lovecraftian lore. The Necronomicon, there's a billion versions, but they're all written by one dude with dark evil powers and stuff. So what if that is this essential version? The Book of Iban is even mentioned in there. Another Lovecraft thing. But yeah.
Where is it?
Words. That's a poem he wrote.
Is that the only one?
No, you have Lamentations is another one. Back right there. Lamentations is one. And Words, I think, is another. And it's all in Nagaztak. Yeah, Words, the old world. I believe that's Nagaztak also.
I love that poem.
Yeah, no, it's really good. George did a really great
Humans have a
Thinking of
tendency
it.
to record everything, even if it's not important. Very true, because you never know what may or may not become important in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
What have we
Which,
got here? We have stuff written from Zorn as well, you said.
yeah, it's, or I think written about Zorn anyway. It's the
No,
Vampire
it's
Scholar.
there.
Oh, there it is. Oh, is it Zoran? Oh, okay. Well, he wrote it.
Opening
So, see, what
salutations,
if?
peace negotiations of Stralon, Zoran, the Blood Baron, and Vampire Scholar.
All right. So, see, what if the Necroliberatos is just like the undead? It's their chronicles rather than it being Alaric's chronicles. It's all theirs. And like they obviously, I'm guessing, have a chronicler to put it down, but it's all from their perspectives. So they're gonna have one, and then you have Alaric, who's like, it's Alaric is their chronicler and Grand Inquisitor, and then the dead have a Grand Inquisitor also. That
What
might
if
be like,
he's
two
it?
sides of the same coin. What
What
if
if
it's Alaric?
Deadhaus kills him? Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's my theory also. Like the big twist is that Alaric is going to end up being dead and being the Deadhaus chronicler in the end.
What if that's how you start? You're the one that kills him and changes him into undead.
That would
And
be,
part of the story is like Alaric becomes
and
like
like his
Grand
his
Chronicler.
journey of being undead and like him become, that'd be nuts.
Got to be a narrative driver for each of the player
Oh,
characters because
definitely.
they'd all
Yeah.
have different stories with their own story as their own class, but he could tell an overall arcing narrative.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
I don't know how that
good.
fits into the octahedron theory, but still, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I mean,
Like everything else, I'm throwing everything at the wall and see what sticks.
I think was it you, Wyvern Tamer, or Bishop, who one? I gotta guess. I can't look through this chat. But that the world is an octahedron shape. That if
Oh,
the
that was
world is literally
initially,
an
yeah, Wyvern
octahedron,
Tamer.
is that the
Wyvern Tamer
theory?
said.
That's the theory, right? That the world is octahedron shaped. It
Well,
is an
the theory
octahedron. Yeah.
is not that the world is, but what the makeup of the world is, like in
Yeah,
theory.
because
So
you
you've
have
got Deadhaus is
physical
like,
man
again,
central,
merch,
and you have the other one.
Deadhaus.com merch. But if you check it out, there is that one pyramid, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the representation for our trinary arc system. If there is 6 elder gods with 9 great houses, if you put 9 triangles together, well, if you put 8 of them together, you get an octahedron, but that leaves a secret extra one, which is either all of it or the hidden space in the middle.
Yeah, Wyvern Tamer makes a really good point here. That would conflict with Jack's problem with player characters being one of many uniques.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, it's I mean, I get it. Like, what if you are the one that like theoretically maybe kills Alaric? That's the Elder Scrolls Online problem. You are the chosen one, but you're also the chosen one. Oh, hey, you over there, you're the chosen one too.
Said he hates that, so I think our one's going to be different. Although on the most recent stream, Jack actually pointed that out because we were doing a Q&A section, and part of the Q&As that I had from the forum where someone asked, will every character have their own unique story, intro story?
Yeah,
it's like, of course. And then he says, what about will you have different intro stories for the same class? And he brought up, well, the way, which was it in Dragon Age or something?
Yeah,
that like you can be a noble or a pauper or whatever, and that will also influence the story.
Yeah, Dragon Age Origins has probably some of the best intros, little intro prologues for characters I've played in a long, long, long time. I mean, it all ends up being you're the chosen one, but like the original, like you can be a dwarf noble or a dwarf rogue, like picking that, or it's like you can be a human mage, right? Yeah, they all have different starts, and it all comes to a head with you're gonna go and be a Grey Warden anyway, but that little 15-minute, 20-minute prologue of whatever you picked is different for everybody. Whichever class you pick and stuff. So
I want my vampire to be a noble that gets thrown out of a pub at night and then gets murdered in a dark alley and goes on a hellbent world-destroying way.
Yeah, exactly. Like my Kane 2.0, but it's a dwarf. Kane 2.0, but it's a dwarf. Oh my god. I would like some metal for my tavern. Don't worry, I can pay you with money, for I am a noble. And then like goes out and like falls into the sky or whatever the dwarf fear is of like looking up or something.
That would give the slagging and the back and forth banter a totally different bit. It's like, out of my way, ankle biter.
Your women's don't have good enough beards. Like
City elf, wild elf, noble human, noble commoner are the other options. Yeah, I've a feeling that's how we're going to go with Deadhaus. It'll be something like
I
that.
would love to see if within like a character creator option, however limited it will be, if there will be one, picking a human noble and a human I mean, I guess human, because we're all going to start off human, I would imagine, right?
Yeah,
Maybe so. Like picking like a noble, and then you get like the nod to Blood Omen with the Cain ending, where you are at a tavern and then you do
wait
get
a
murdered.
minute. Wait a minute. I found a flaw in our theory.
What?
Banshees were never human.
Damn it!
Neither were whites.
Yeah, you're right.
How's that going to work?
Okay, I'll throw this at you. What if you are a white? What if for like your white prologue, you are a human, and then it's you getting murdered and getting your soul sucked out, and then put back into a white, and that is you.
If that could work, but what about
How
Banshee?
cool would that be? Yeah, I don't know about that one.
They were never human to begin with.
Yeah, so maybe
Although I am so
that
looking
might be the
forward
most.
to the cutscene of the Wraith. You know that crap with the chains.
Oh yeah, no. If he doesn't do a whole Hellraiser thing, I'll be very disappointed. If it's
Alec meets Hellraiser.
Yeah, if I wasn't just in, now that I've seen those movies, I want more Hellraiser crap in video games. You know what I mean?
Now you know why I go down that path very, very quickly. You've seen Nightbreed, right?
I haven't seen Nightbreed yet. I'm still going down like Clive Barker. I've seen the intro. I've seen I've stumbled.
You can stop at Hellraiser 4, by the way. You don't need to. You don't.
I'm gonna stop. I'm done with 1 and 2. I heard the rest of them suck, so it's like I'm not even gonna.
Three's fun. Three's kind of cool.
Which one is where they end up in space? That's like 5.
4. Bloodlines 4. Yeah.
Okay.
So
in space. I love that. That was the trope of the 90s.
So there's Hellraiser, and then there's Hellraiser 2. Then there's Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. That goes into like cheesy 90s horror, which is just great. Like it's just stupid, crazy effects, just for no reason.
Because why not?
Like it's just nuts. But it's got really great practical effects in it. And then Hellraiser 4, it kind of tries to tie them all together. So it shows like the past, the present, and the future. And it kind of gives an overarching thing of like, where did the box come from? How is the box like this? What do you do with them? And it gets into this whole thing of Le Marchand, John Merchant in the modern like one. It's like his family's forever tied to it because they created this particular type of box, and it goes into that, and that's where it goes into space. And once they get to space, they've jumped the shark on anything.
Yeah.
Every movie after that isn't actually a Hellraiser movie. What they done is someone pitched a horror movie to a studio,
and then they just used it to keep the rights, right?
Yeah, and then they found a way to inject Pinhead in there somewhere and make it a Hellraiser movie for the rights thing. There's one even, it's called Deader. Hellraiser Deader.
Wow.
And it's basically Laurie again. The first two. Only like she's with an abusive dude, and it's about their shitty relationship. And
did she come back though? Did they get her back or no?
Yeah, it's the same actress.
Oh wow!
Were you really that stuck for money? Like you could have started a GoFundMe on the internet.
I know.
Would have helped you out. You didn't have to go back to that well.
I think it was maybe last 2 years ago now. I guess. God, it just feels so long ago. Maybe 2 years ago. I know they either rebooted Hellraiser and brought it back. There's a really recent movie as of like 2018 or 2019.
Oh, that appalling thing they done in like 2 weeks.
I guess it was like
it never really officially
kind of go back to like the origin where it's just a lone house or something, and then Pinhead shows up for.
Is that the one with the really terrible looking Pinhead?
Yeah, it's a new guy. It's not
because they done another one where they tried to do
friendly.
a sequel and I don't know if it ever got legs or not, but they'd done some pitch stuff for it.
They turned Books of Blood into a
And
series, and that's like that ties to Hellraiser, right?
it was meant to be like they were continuing it on, but it wasn't going to have Pinhead or anything into it. So it was just like how the universe goes on.
Yeah.
Scarlet Gospels, seriously, I don't care what it takes.
That's
If
I was about to ask
anyone,
you, like, what is the actual sequel to Hellraiser where
okay,
it's not
okay.
Pinhead? They actually don't give him a name. He's just the Hell Priest or something.
Here's how this goes. Okay, now you can tell I'm all excited about this. Okay, Clive Barker got fed up with this crap and decided he was going to kill Pinhead. He's like, I'm done, right? I'm going to end this series so you can never go any further with it, right? So he comes out with a book, and it's kind of a crossover between some of his other books because there's a detective in it. I'm going to try not to spoil the story too much because I do think it is worth a read. It holy crap is like I picked it up, or it was actually gotten for me as a gift, a proper hard copy version. And when I picked it up to start reading, I could not put the damn thing down. Like 3 books, all Clive Barker might add, have ever had done that to me. And I love crazy literature, but 3 books. There was Cabal, which Nightbreed is based on. There was Mr. B Gone.
Okay.
One of Clive Barker's ones. Again, one of the greatest books ever written is Mr. B Gone. Don't listen to the audiobook. It's not the same.
Yeah, no, I'm an audiobook kind of guy, and like that's my preferred method because it's
the first line. The first
tired.
line for Mr. B Gone is burn this book. No, stop it. Stop reading. I can see you reading. Put it down now.
Yeah,
burn.
that doesn't really translate very well to audio.
Yeah,
it
works really well because like there was a bit in the book where there's a story going on. I'm not going to ruin the story for Mr. Be Gone, but again, recommend get it. I don't care what it costs. Get it. Find it. Get it. There's a bit where I'm not even joking. I couldn't put this down. I was reading it all day and night and everything. So I'm in bed at night and I'm reading this. And there's a bit where he interrupts. I just wanted to stop you here. I know you're alone.
Oh, that's good.
By the way, that tapping at the window, that's me. I'm like, oh shit. Like it's this crazy. It's not even fourth wall breaking. It's just nuts. And it's done in a way that only Clive has ever been able to. Like, this is the guy that scares the shit out of Stephen King.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Like I mean, I've tried so hard to read. I tried reading Magic, his like Magic trilogy or whatever.
Oh, you're starting too deep.
Years. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know where to start.
Start with Hellraiser and stuff. Hellraiser and Nightbreed and all are novellas. They're written as novellas.
Like
and
I
they
can't
adapted
get
well
through his reading. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
just right
my interest.
Plays.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's like Stephen King. I like the ideas of Stephen King, and I think like all the movies and stuff that have been made.
He's hard to read.
Mostly, it's tough read. Super tough read. I don't know why, but something about it is difficult for me to get.
Stephen, I don't need 3 chapters on the history of Derry before the friggin' book starts.
I get you lived in Maine your entire life, but Jesus Christ, man, like.
But onto the Scarlet Gospels. So it's a crossover with some of his other stuff. By the way, yeah, I'm going to say it now. I get crap for this all the time, but when I watched Coraline, I kept thinking, Clive Barker going to sue somebody. Neil Gaiman totally ripped him off, by the way.
Oh, seriously? I love Coraline. It's a great book.
No, there's a way better version. It's called The Thief of Always, and it was done by Clive Barker years before. And it's actually better because it's creepier and has a darker ending. Because, of course, that's what happens when you get a deranged horror writer writing children's books. But anyway, not to crap on Neil Gaiman. I love Neil Gaiman as an author. But I remember watching Coraline. I'm like, Clive Barker going to sue somebody. But all joking aside, though, and the Scarlet Gospels, okay, it's a crossover with some of the other books. It's a detective story and a horror story because it keeps jumping back and forth. There's a detective that's looking for something because things happen. I can't go further than that because, again, all ties into the story. And then it jumps to other bits where it's Pinhead, called the Hell Priest, in hell, and he goes looking for Satan.
In
Pinhead's
hell?
gonna bitch slap Satan.
Oh wow. Is
And
Leviathan part of is Leviathan part of like Hellraiser lore, or is it just for the movie?
the whole Leviathan thing, it's like you know in Spawn, the way Malbolgia is a prince of hell, but it's not the
Yeah.
devil. It's only a prince of like one of the circles of hell type of thing. That's
That's
what you're talking
Leviathan.
about, Leviathan. Leviathan
Oh,
is like
okay.
one of those things. But here's a funny story. I know almost none of the people that are working on Deadhaus read the Scarlet Gospels, or not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But there's an awful lot of Anumot Hell crossover. Anumot sound, when you look at the pictures, it's almost a
That's
description
totally yeah.
of the temples in hell in the Scarlet Gospels.
Oh man. So then maybe Dennis read it.
Possibly. He says he doesn't remember because
Yeah.
Dennis reads a lot of stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I don't think it was entirely original, like what Clive done, but like just in the descriptions. But holy crap, it's amazing! It's 2 stories in one. I don't know how they do it in a movie, but holy crap! Throw the Avengers budget at it; it'll make money. I promise you, it'll make money. Every
I'm
horror
more down
fan
for
on the
series.
planet will go see it.
I think they should turn. I see. I always think books should just be television series instead, because
it
you
would
can flesh
probably
them
work
out
better.
longer. You can get more detail. Like I put on the first episode. I really got to get through Books of Blood too. They turned Books of Blood into a TV series.
Did they?
Apparently, it's good. Yeah, they did. It's on Hulu.
I remember watching the movie.
Yeah, they turned Books of Blood into a series. Mini series, maybe a mini series where it's like 4 or 5 episodes or whatever, but they're all like an hour and a half long or something.
Is that the one where it starts off with the dude and he's got the stuff written into his skin?
I think so. Yeah. And he's in a library and he's like, I gotta get the thing, and
and there's a guy hunting him.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I know I've seen that. Yeah,
So
I think it was a mini series thing. That was really good, by the way. Surprisingly good.
I'm meaning to finish it.
And again, it's
stuff
creepy
like
how
that
many
works.
people I know show up in those things.
Yeah, so like it's stuff like that kind of works. So I think, man, but Hellraiser's cool. Now that I've been getting into it, like I wouldn't mind if the Wraith.
I know you cheered when you said it.
3.
Wait, no, it's in the third one. It's in the third one that there's the Motorhead cover.
They do a Motorhead cover?
There's a Motorhead cover of an Ozzy Osbourne song, and it's just Hellraiser.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Of course.
Just hearing Lemmy do it, and you see the music video at the end, like if you have the old DVD or VHS versions and all, and you watch it, at the end credits, it shows the music video, because of course it does. And it's like Lemmy sits across the table, and he's playing cards against Pinhead and stuff.
That's rad. That's super rad. Based on a true story. These people will show up in your life.
Yeah. Oh god,
that's good.
What's it? Yeah, it at 12 was quite scary, but I mainly put it down because I couldn't read that long. Yeah. Talking from someone that can quite happily read Tolkien, Stephen King's long-winded.
Like I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why I can actually. I can
brevity is your friend.
I can sit down and read Lord of the Rings or read The Hobbit or whatever, or listen to it. But Stephen King is just such a drawl for me. I don't understand. Like that's why I like
weird, because the stories are good. It's
the only story that I finished of Stephen King was The Mist. I've read the short story, the novella or whatever of The Mist, and of course I love the movie The Mist by Frank Darabont. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that. I thought that was good. Like I think I can digest Stephen King in short bursts if he wrote more novellas or short stories or whatever.
I watched that, but it had 2 endings. What's the actual ending supposed to be?
For The Mist?
Is it the dark one?
It's the dark one. It's the bad one. That's the real ending. There was an alternate ending I think they put on for TV purposes just to...
It's the Hollywood thing. It's like when they put on I Am Legend and they had to give it like a happy ending where like he found other people and survived and they went to a camp and he lived in a farm out in the countryside. No, that's not what happened at all.
In the book it's an ambiguous ending. In the book it ends with him going back to his apartment or house or whatever, and then it's covered in like spider webs or something, and there's like the faint sound of like a radio being and then and you hear some chatter and like people on the radio talking, and that may or may not be hope that this thing is almost over. So it ends ambiguously, which is
the
a fine
way
ending. But man,
the way
the way
I
the
had it
movie ended.
explained to me, because I never got to read that, but the way it was explained to me is like I was told, you know, in the movie where he's locked in that place and he has the grenade, and like he kind of pulls the pins and throws it, and it's kind of like he's sacrificing himself to kind of kill these other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he actually dies there, and what happens is the others evolve a bit more and tell the story of him as their boogeyman. That's where the I Am Legend thing comes in, that like he's this monster that goes out in the daytime and hunts them down and kills them, and it's like a story that they tell their children.
That's really good. The I Am Legend is, I'm trying to remember the book. I haven't read the book in a long time, but
I got someone to explain it to me because I was like, is this any good? And then they
in
just
the movie, the alternate ending, the movie is really good, but like the book it ends, it's real. And I remember the book ends with him realizing that, you know, he is the legend. He becomes, he's the last person on Earth. Like he is, you know, a living legend or whatever, essentially amongst like this vampire world now, you know. And yeah, you're right.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Like that. It's super. Omega Man does it really well. The old Charlton Heston movie. Yeah.
I'm wondering what way we'll see that in Deadhaus now. Like, will we have an I Am Legend scenario with the last bastion of humans, or what?
I think for those who participate in like the first and second age is deadhausnota.com/store. Founders packs. Go get them. I think people who participate in like age 1 and 2, yes, we will be the living legends. Our names will be literally etched upon the walls, and you know, and we might have like special cutscenes or whatever
sometimes possibly
for us. You know, we might even be in the book. Like we're in the book already. Like,
wait, are you in this book already?
I think I'm in the book already. I'm somewhere in there. Yeah, I think I'm like right there.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
see,
you go, right here.
Like we're already in the books. Like, so that stuff can happen. Like we're already affecting the narrative and, you know, shaping that and molding that as we will to our vision almost, with that community content, stuff like that. So that will be our legacy of Calypso. That will be like our legacies left upon, you know, this game and like this stuff. Like we are the narrative, essentially. We are the narrative. You know,
I just wanted to point that out, by the way, just on stream, just to tell everyone, happy birthday, dude. But secondly, I have a query about that, because you say it's your birthday today, but this here clearly says ageless.
Oh yes, I never die.
What's that about? How can you get older
years old? I'm 101 now.
I smell shenanigans.
Yes,
I smell shenanigans here somewhere.
Ageless, ageless. I am ageless.
It says Varric's ageless as well.
Varric is also ageless. Varric, however, he might be ageless, but I have ageless. I have ageless better than him. That's what I think. That's the thing I'm most excited about. Like I like that community stuff. Like I like, you know, it's like the Skyrim modding community, how they have essentially become legends amongst that series and that genre and everything. I think that's how it'll be for us. Like that's what I'm excited for. You know.
I know that we'll get to do that, and there will be a lot more, like the first age being like an alpha, second age being like a beta, third age being it open to the general public. Dennis has said he does want to make a point of rewarding the people that like bought founders packs, because it will be a free to play game. So anyone that was an early adopter and to help out, there will be like our mark left upon the world, so to speak, in some fashion. I don't know what that is, but there we go. Oh, there's Safi. Happy birthday, Calypso. May you forever be ageless.
Thank you, Safi. Wyvern Tamer, the ones who actually make the game work. we will start with a working game, at least. That is very true. Yes. No, not to discredit.
Be honest, I would rather them take their time and it work. Because like everyone, what's funny is like we've talked about this before privately, Calypso,
Mhm.
about people getting angry at games being delayed. I'm like, I'm bummed. I remember it happened with Doom Eternal and everything. It's like, I'm bummed,
Yeah.
but like, take the time you need. I'd rather the game work,
Yeah, exactly,
And I
and
don't
now
want
you
to crap
have
on any other companies and all like that, but people have always been very nasty about things being delayed up until recently. And
yeah.
they're starting to get a little bit more understanding because now they see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I think I always look back with fond memories of when we didn't know a game's release and we didn't know when like the how the development cycles were going. As much as I love that stuff, as much as I love deep diving and devlogs and making games and just like how all that stuff is done, I also love when we didn't know about that stuff. Nobody knew when Mario 2 was going to come out. Nobody knew when,
Exactly.
Super Mario 64 was going to be a thing. That just hit everybody,
You see,
right in the face, and it was legendary right off the bat. Like that kind of stuff.
I'm of two minds, right? So part of me, I love it the way Deadhaus has gone because they're like being very open. They're getting the community to help shape it because also it's free to play. They want everyone to like buy in early and help support the game and whatnot. Again, deadhausonata.com, founders pack. You want to. We get to see the game literally take shape and being made. And we're going from start to like Dennis and crew going, hey, here's a little idea we had to here's the game, and every step in between. The side I don't like is when you see companies going Bayonetta 3 and then nothing for 3 years. And it's like, is it done yet? Shh.
Yeah, like don't
And then
show
you
me
hear
something unless you
nothing.
can't drop it like a month later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like don't mouth about stuff unless you can show it. Because look at Elden Ring. Everyone's literally waiting. Anytime
Dude,
any
oh
video
man,
game
yeah,
company farts, everyone's turning around going, is it Elden Ring news? Is it Elden
yeah,
Ring? Relax, it'll happen eventually. I like what Nintendo have done recently. They say nothing. And then it's just like, here's a Nintendo Direct. Hey, this is an awesome new game. Do you like it? Cool. It's out next week. Or, hey, do you like these indie games? They're on the store now. Go get it.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Now? Cool. I really like that idea as well. So I'm kind of torn between both.
Yeah, it hurts. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this right now, and I already know it. When they first announced this, I wasn't on board. I was completely against it. But now that like as years have progressed, and I don't know if they've changed their model or not, I got to look into that. But I am perfectly okay with Bethesda not giving out review copies of their games anymore. Is that still a thing? And then just having it release and then the final product or whatever getting reviewed on the day of. Yes, there's no pre-orders or whatever, blah blah
Well,
blah blah
you
blah.
see, I'm
Like
against, yeah, I'm with you there. I'm
I
against access journalism.
yeah, like I mean, I understand having, okay, here's your review copy like 2 weeks early to review it. Cool. Whatever. People are forgetting within that 2 weeks you can get a bunch of patches or whatever and like a final
Yeah.
gold version or something. And
Or
then
you can
the
pull
day then
some
so that means
companies
your
where
review doesn't reflect the day of the game because of all these patches and stuff that are being thrown in. So I
yeah.
get where Bethesda's going with that. But on the other hand, there's also that it's like the old times, you didn't know if a game was going to be good or bad until it actually released and people played it. And then like
Yeah.
a week later, the word of mouth started to flow around.
They're
So
operating on the old model of like,
yeah,
remember, you'll be old enough to remember this. We didn't know what the hell happened at E3. You would wait,
yeah,
and then a week or two
yeah,
later, they would be in the magazines, and you'd see pictures of stuff that were taken and someone's
yeah.
opinion.
People are
Now,
forgetting.
this year, we can watch E3 live.
Yeah, people don't
We will watch
people
it
don't remember
live on the
that
internet.
E3 was purely for press and for game
Yeah,
development. That's it.
those days are
The
gone.
first E3 back in like 93 or something was literally just tech, game developers, and
It was a press event.
journalists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a press event. That's it, and it didn't even last. It lasted like a day or two. I can't even remember. I think the first E3 was literally like 3 days or something, and
Yep.
that's it. That's it. There was no, we get to watch streams of it. We get to see the trailer reveals. None of that crap. It was literally just,
hey, here's this cool thing that's going on. It was like CES. Same thing with CES. CES is still very much just press and tech reviewers and stuff like that. But if you want to pay a crap ton of money, you can still go to CES now. You couldn't do that way back when it first started. Like, people don't remember that was a thing. And so now they got all uppity in their, and they're, that sense of privilege or whatever, of the gamer privilege of
Yep.
I want this and I want that and I need this and I need that and yada 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 yada. Like no, that's not how it is. Which it's not. I'm getting a little heated. I'm mad now.
Look, as you said, to go through those points. First off, like, when a game is reviewed versus when it releases, how many games now wait until the review copies are out, give it like 2 to 4 weeks, and then stick microtransactions in the game? Right? Yeah. That's one. Number two, I hate to break it to you, but I'm going to let you in on a little industry secret as someone who has been behind the scenes for movies and some video game stuff. If people get copies early, it's because they promise they're going to give it a good review. Embargoes are for people that are going to crap on the game. Heads up on that one. Just a little one, because I've personally been told this. When we used to do reviews for movies, I was asked before, I'm not going to name and shame, but I was asked before, here's the movie to review. If you're going to give it a good review, can you can you send us a copy of the review, where it'll be posted and what date? If it's an unfavorable review, could you please wait until after this date to post it? So I wasn't the only one that was told these things. This is an industry bit. That's why I don't like access journalism. Now, people are like, oh, but we need to see a review copy and all. Do you know something? While we were setting up this evening, I was on Twitch, and Fextra Life were streaming the alpha for the remake for Diablo 2.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it. And it's only out now. Like, it's out. Anyone that got into that signed up for it can play it now. Or you can watch them on Twitch. And I can't remember the guy's name. He's the guy that does a lot of the stuff on their website and their YouTube videos. He was pretty much reviewing it for people and doing an open Q&A while playing it. So you don't need that kind of access journalism. Like, it doesn't exist. I played a demo of The Last Faith on Twitch for everyone live, and then I just put it onto YouTube.
Yeah. Everyone essentially is a journalist now, and because everyone has access to games, demos. Demos are finally coming back. Like,
if you back it on
weird that they vanished in the first place. That's so weird that demos disappeared for a whole 15 years or something. I don't understand it. But anyways, it's I guess what this boils down to, without being long-winded anymore, is transparency can be a good and a bad thing within game development. Just look at the course of Deadhaus, with it being totally transparent from day one. And I know a lot of people don't think, I know. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole today.
I keep rereading those IGN comments.
Yeah, it's like I know a lot of people don't think that art reveals are a big thing, or that a radio play for some lore is a big thing. That just that the only thing Deadhaus really has to go off right now is art and lore, and some community stuff. Like, I get people don't think that's a big thing, but within the circle of game development and with how games are made from day 1 to day 100, it's a big thing. It's a good thing for the industry. Am I trying to turn myself into a wraith? I think
that was aimed at me.
Yes. Yeah, I think you are. Oh, I'm torturing myself with these comments.
Look, that's one of the cardinal sins, and you've told me this, Calypso, and everyone else has told me this. I've even heard Joe Rogan mention it on a podcast. Don't read the YouTube comments.
Yeah,
and the first thing Mike does is go and read the YouTube comments.
Yeah,
so
I'm still reading comments on that one Witcher video that I have on my channel. It just never ends, man.
Heads up, if you're listening to this on YouTube, leave a comment below and see how long it takes me to reply.
Yeah, we'll
watch.
We'll put a bet on
you will be creeped out at how fast.
I could just see you with your phone in your hand, constantly checking every 5 minutes, like the ending of Social Network, where he's just refreshing the page over and over and over again. It'll be a
case of me lying in bed and my phone just goes ding, and it's like, son of a. But
But
yeah, access journalism isn't really necessary anymore. And I think a lot of these companies, like I've
they think it
noticed if you
is.
look at it recently, like especially like the pandemic has brought this out a lot, right? Okay, I have to be careful. I don't want to name particular companies, but companies that would do reviews for video games on their websites, their
Yeah.
large websites,
Mm-hmm.
don't get a lot of traffic. They'll get a good few number on their YouTube videos and stuff, but their actual traffic to their website won't make a lot. But meanwhile, you get smaller ones like Fextra Life is just one, just because I'm a fan of them. But there's mountains of others who are like, they'll have a website, but they primarily focus on, let's say, their Twitch presence or maybe their Twitter
Yeah.
presence or just their YouTube channel. And they will dwarf a lot of these bigger ones.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to say that websites are dying, but I think websites are dying, like slowly.
kind of like the idea of a
Slowly.
traditional website that's like for game reviews, that's gone because people find a personality they like go to it. Like one I watch a lot is Arix. He does a lot of
Mhm.
stuff recently on Monster Hunter Rise, but he does it for like quite a lot of games. I remember going on Sea of Thieves, and he was doing some
Yeah.
stuff in Valheim. There's a Gaijin Hunter who's been doing a lot. Like I follow him on Twitter. He does an awfully huge into Monster Hunter. Like it's kind of more a cult of personality scenario where you find someone who has similar tastes to you and follow them, as opposed to, oh, this is the website I go to consume my video game and pop culture media. You know, they're
Yeah.
going away. You're
Yeah.
going to follow, like you mentioned earlier, Calypso, Jeremy Jans, another shout out.
Yeah,
Not that he
exactly.
needs it, but it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
we're going to
That's what
watch
I'm
him because I agree with him
Yeah,
on movies.
I watch my
So
movie reviews from him. My game reviews are like my first person shooters. I watch G-Man Lives and Civi and like one other are the only ones that I really watch for like first person shooter reviews or you know old school boomer shooters like myself, right? Like that kind of stuff. My RPG reviews are some other guy. My
Yeah.
book reviews are this dude. Like
exactly.
that I think is becoming more of a thing. And like clearly we have it here. We have a Deadhaus, we have this podcast and stream, and then we have like the official one, and then there's other people like
Look,
that's
we have
the
it right now.
presence
If you
more.
search online for Deadhaus Sonata, after the official one, you get Calypso here. Random videos from a handful of other people that have done random one-off videos, and you have us here at Deadhaus Whispers, still going strong. Give it a year or two. Watch how many there is then.
Oh,
like
yeah, no,
a lot of people, and I fully
skyrocket.
encourage that. I fully
Yeah.
encourage that. I think everyone, the more there's talking about it, the better it is for a game, because you don't just want to watch the same one person all like that. Maybe you don't like that person. You want to hear it from someone else. Like you said,
Yeah.
Jeremy Jans, you get along with him. You like his ideas and all like that. But suppose someone didn't. There is loads of other reviewers that do just as well. You find someone that has similar tastes to you and follow them. Shooting Calypso. Now there's an idea. That's probably in some short college movie somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a couple of student films back in my younger days.
All PG-13 and above, I hope.
Yep. One of them, one of them, I guess to go off track or whatever. One of them was really terrible. I never liked this dude, but that's another story. The story was I was playing the ghost or the other personality of this one other guy, but I had to take a train to Brooklyn. This was up in New York. I had to take a train to Brooklyn, and I was there from like 10 at night to like 6 in the morning. And it was only, and the movie, the little student film, guess how long it was? 10 minutes.
Dang.
Why am I there for 6 hours or whatever? And it's only a 10-minute long, art piece of a short film or whatever for your college thesis.
It's all right. I've been in numerous horror movies that never got finished. Like it's okay.
Man, trust me. It's just, but the film industry is another subject for another time also.
I was even in an Irish remake of The Exorcist that never happened.
That's awesome. I gotta see the bootleg version of that, dude. Tilted camera to the side, like the battery starts to die.
I don't even think it actually got like in the can by the end of it.
Oh
like,
man,
it was plagued with disasters from day one, none of which were supernatural in the slightest. But like, yeah, no, I'm normally the monster or the goblin or the creepy dude with the mask, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, that's the way I feel the media is going now, because I find I cut the cord, I think 2007, 2008, before my son was born. I haven't watched television. Since then, I think most of my media, it's varied. Most of it nowadays comes from Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and Twitch. It's varied based on whatever the popular website of the day was, but that's generally the idea of how I consume media. They are decentralized media, and I believe that's the way forward. This idea of other companies wanting to centralize, we'll all have our own streaming service, never work.
Yeah. No, I think, well, I mean, I don't know. You say it'll never work, but then you have, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, like all of these things are having their own streaming network
and then
now.
when
And
you subscribe to them all, you might
even
as well have cable
CBS,
again.
exactly. It's the same price as cable, whatever that meme is. Like even CBS and NBC have their own streaming networks now because it's easier and, more profitable almost than to fund a channel on regular cable. Regular cable is pretty much dead at this point.
Yep.
And it's weird. I mean, especially with this whole thing going on now, it's like, man, times are crazy and times are changing, and it's
technology killed it, but then people not wanting to bother with the crap because everyone's seeing through the crap on television. They just got sick of it. Oh yeah. Here you go. I'll let you read that.
As Safi, as the makeup artist for that Irish Exorcist remake, I can attest to the supernatural happenings. Even the radiator collapsed off the wall with the exorcism scene. That's insane. That's really cool. You're a makeup artist too, Safi. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you are in literally Ghost World Central or whatever.
Oh, dude, don't even. Okay, I'm just a heads up. Stuff. Heads up. This is not planned. I just don't trust this anymore. It's not supernatural. It happened to me a few weeks ago that the power randomly went out while I was gaming. So don't take that as anything. But we live very, very close to the traditional home of, like the house is still there in ruins, to a woman called Biddy Early, which would be called a Ban Fassa, a wise woman, or as the English called her, a witch.
You should move now.
No, I have no problems with Biddy.
Hey, I'm Faceless Mike, and I live next to a ghost witch.
like our version of the Blair Witch. Only,
that is you don't creepy, dude.
You don't mess with Biddy early.
People say the Blair Witch didn't scare him. Shut up. You know the Blair Witch scared the crap out of you when it was in theaters, man.
Look, I want to test it out. I want to go to that. The Blair Witch is loosely based on the Bell Witch. You know the story of the Bell Witch? Man, I want to go to that cave and take a rock. I don't believe it.
Like I love supernatural stuff, but man, like, I don't want to do. I told you. Did I tell you guys? I think I maybe I told this to other people. So I was watching this horror movie, very Amityville horror-ish, right? Like they didn't have the rights to it. Yeah, so they didn't have the rights to it, so they had to call it something else. But it's basically the Amityville horror, right? I'm there watching it. It's dark in my room. I all of a sudden hear a strange clanging, banging noise, in my bathroom. And I do like the most typical horror movie, stupid white person teenager ever, right? I get up and I say to myself out loud, I should go see what that was. So like the Blair Witch commercials, that whole era where they made us think it was a real story. Oh man, me too.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah,
I missed that too. The other one was like what white noise or white owl or something. It was that one with Mila Jovovich, and it was like a mockumentary with alien abduction or something.
Well, Reverend Tamer, you saying put away the other crowd. Now you have my attention. He has a lot of stories about Biddy Early. Wyvern Tamer is currently reading a book called Meeting the Other Crowd by an Irish Shanachie called Eddie Lenihan. That's Irish for storyteller. The ones where the traditions and stories are handed down orally. There's a lot of stories about Biddy, because Biddy is from just outside the small village of Fecal, which is only literally only a few miles from my door. Like, it's walkable. Like,
that's scary, man. Like, no thanks.
There's loads of ghost stories around here, but then again, there's a creepy old chapel.
Well, yeah, you're in Ireland. Of course there's loads of ghost stories.
The whole place is haunted. Well, that's the stories. That's as the stories go, anyway. But yeah, they're pretty. What was that? Yeah, I remember that
that one
movie.
alien movie. It was like abductions. He got abducted by aliens, went nuts, and like murdered his whole family or something.
Crazy guy.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
Amityville Horror is a real story. That really happened. Like,
I'm
that's not
afraid
a.
no ghosts.
Oh my
Oh
gosh!
God!
Hey
Did you see the
Bishop,
new trailer?
I did with the little
The
baby
mini
Stay
Stay
Puft
Puft.
Marshmallows. Yeah, I
Oh,
loved it. I
I
loved it. It
don't
was
know whether that was
great.
awesome or appalling.
Like I was squeeing. It was my childhood was reignited, and like but then again, like Ghostbusters Afterlife,
Ray, what did you do?
like that movie was advertised like 3 years ago or something, and it's just now getting advertised again.
Yeah, that got put on
The
the
fourth
shelf.
kind. Thank you, the fourth kind. Yeah, I think a lot of movies have.
Loud crashing. I don't know. I'm not afraid of no ghosts. I got my silver sword. We're good.
I don't have anything. All I have is like some salt, I guess, and I don't know. Does honey do anything against ghosts?
What would all of you
Banshees from
do if the
Deadhaus?
Banshee from Deadhaus would greet you? I'd be laughing my ass off because that means a relative of mine's going in a box.
I'd probably marry it.
Calypso, hey, how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? Or it's like she starts to scream, and I'm like, wait, let me get some headphones. Anything I can do to stay with her would be.
Hold on. I can picture Calypso now. Here, hold on. Let me get the bag.
Yeah, exactly. Wait a second.
I mean, if she greets me, that means she is nice.
Yeah,
that's an Irish colloquialism. Greeting doesn't necessarily
piss her
mean
off or
positive.
die. I think I posted something in Discord like, oh man, what was it? What's the title of it? Like something cryptids, like happy cryptids or whatever. So it's like you have sirens that are lifeguards, but instead of singing to
I'm gonna
murder
find
you,
that. Hold on.
I'm
gonna find that specifically just to put that up because that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
Where is it? I love the idea of comforting cryptids, monsters who live under your bed to assure you that nothing bad can fit under there because they're there and there's no more room. Unspeakable eldritch horrors that follow you around just so they can tell you shitty puns. Mom, friend, poltergeists who passive-aggressively disrupt all your electronics while you're a little shit who should be asleep because you have an exam in the morning. This is brilliant. But also tag along on blind dates in case you suddenly need an out. Sirens who work as lifeguards and sing, so instead of panicking, you can focus on your movements and breathe easier. Forest Ranger Bigfoot who patrols the woods in case anyone gets lost and needs a guide out. Good guy Bigfoot, huh? That'd be hilarious. It's like, only you can prevent forest fires. That would be awesome. I think Bigfoot, they should hire Bigfoot, considering how much he's been spotted all over the Midwest. Like, definitely should be the one. Now, we are back to Ozcrox. So don't piss her off or die. Again, when the Banshee wails, right, that is meant to be a sign that someone you know is dying. It's not a sign that you are going to die. The person who the Banshee is for never hears them. You get me? Bigfoot was a car insurance guy. Was he? I wouldn't trust that, though.
I like Bigfoot being a car insurance guy.
I was saying he should make a forest ranger considering how often he appears around Washington and all. Yeah, he should be employed. Bishop, I like the way you think, Wyvern Tamer. Come on, you can at least try to get on our good side.
Well, okay, so I'm back, everyone. You just said that the person dying hears the Banshee, right? Or the person alive hears the Banshee?
Yeah, the person who the Banshee is for doesn't hear it. The people that hear it, it's an omen that someone close to you is going to die.
Okay. Okay, so I wonder now, would that traditional will that traditional thing work with the Deadhaus mechanic, or is it
Oh
just going to
no,
be
no, clearly
she
no,
has a
no.
scream
It's
period?
the scream, the sound of death, and all like that. It's
Yeah,
an omen that death is coming. That kind of way. Because
yeah.
it doesn't really work mechanically, really. Because like
Mhm.
a lot of our stuff, historically for like Celtic folklore, the things that are horrifying in and of themselves are not dangerous, and the things that are dangerous are not necessarily horrifying. Like for example, people laugh at leprechauns. You don't want them in your house. Like you really
No,
don't.
they're
Like
they're little bastards,
they're
aren't they?
evil. They're
Yeah,
truly evil in our sense. Now everyone's watching Darby O'Gill and the Little People, and they're thinking about this, that, and the
love
other, and
that
your three
movie.
wishes and all that. That's come on, that none of that's true. Like it's so like that's not even part of the myth. Banshees were built off the ladies crying at funerals, so the living here. That's where it's. Yeah, I don't think that's exactly where our ones came from, but that's the idea. That's clearly the idea. But the part of it's meant to be the person crying beforehand, so like it could happen a week before, and the images of like a woman brushing her hair. She could be old, she could be young. She clearly looks ethereal. She's brushing her hair and weeping. Yeah, the IRL mythology. 7, I prefer the Morrigan more. That's an even more
What's
interesting
that
background.
one? Morrigan? All I know is the
Google.
Dragon Age character.
No. Google. Dragon
Oh,
Age. I thought you were going to go Darkstalkers there at least.
no, Dragon Age.
The Darkstalkers one would be more up your alley.
Morrigan. The Morrigan. What on earth? Oh, wait.
Not quite the lady in red, but still good.
Also known as Morrigu, is a figure from Irish mythology. The name I don't want to butcher that. It has been translated as Great Queen or Phantom Queen. Ooh. The Morgan is mainly associated with, oh, sweet. So like the war ghost, she incites warriors to battle and can help bring about victory over their enemies. Oh, that's kick-ass. Oh, I wouldn't mind
Hi,
a
Shiny.
Morrigan.
You just I mentioned
Hey,
Banshees and Shiny shows up.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't mind a Morrigan skin for the Banshee. That'd be sweet. Like decked out in like warrior stuff. That'd be rad.
Think like a Celtic Valkyrie, only darker.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, no kidding, Shiny. Mike, literally, we were just started talking about Banshees, and there you go.
Yep.
Welcome. Not that there's anything wrong with little Banshee talk, I'm fine with. I could talk about my girlfriend all day.
That's the other one. There you go, Calypso, just for you. It's a little head.
I wonder what Baron Alric is going to sound like. What's the voice they're going to do? Are they going to? Because like
I have a
go
feeling it's
German
George,
thing?
but I would pay money.
Oh
for
no,
North.
I have a feeling it's totally going to be George, but I'm totally fine with hearing
I'd
George.
pay money for Nolan North.
Oh man, I like Nolan North, but I don't know about that. Like the guy's expensive. Non sanitized Valkyrie, because they didn't necessarily take only the dead warriors that imprisoned them. For the Morrigan. For the Morrigan.
Now look up Biddy Early.
Oh boy.
Just while we're getting you to butcher Irish names.
Yeah. The
word is Bian Fasa. You're going to get that wrong. Bian, as in woman. Ban. Just say ban. It's
ban.
Ban Fasa.
And Biddy Early. Oh, geez, Louise.
Man, she even cursed the sports teams apparently and everything. There's all sorts of crazy stuff about her.
That's insane. Wow.
People here still are afraid of her, man.
Yeah.
Legit.
That's so weird, man. That's really cool.
I've been to her house.
Man, okay, I got a story. Well, not really a story. So a friend of mine, Jeepers Creepers, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that little
Jeepers Creepers.
What is it? That beginning place they go into with all the bodies underground.
Yes.
Everything in the first movie, that's here in Florida. And a friend of mine,
not surprised.
And a friend of mine, right? It's like, and a friend of mine lived close by there, and to get to the bus stop to go to school, they had to walk by it every single day.
Oh my God, was that out while he was still in high school?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
it's like it was crazy, dude.
Sorry, I'm
Crazy.
just still relishing the thing. Hey, you know that creepy place in Jeepers Creepers? Yeah, that's Florida. I'm like,
Yeah, that's Florida. It sounds like a joke. It's Florida.
it's almost
It's such
like
a
that
Florida
one.
thing. It's such a Florida thing too.
It's like when they announced the new JoJo in the new season. It's like it's going to be Jolene. It's like, yay, Florida Woman, the anime.
Oh my god. That's like what, part 8 or something, right? It's like a girl.
6.
Part 6, okay.
Florida man
becomes
becomes Jeepers Creepers.
That'd be a news article. That's it. I can see that being a news article.
Google that. That has to be real. I keep annoying Calypso all the time. Anytime one of those Florida man things come up, I send it to him. And I didn't know this. There is actually a comic book of Florida man, and the front
I
cover.
didn't know that. That's awesome.
The front cover is everything you ever expected it to be. It's everything you wanted and more.
No, okay, we lucked out. No, Florida man becomes Jeepers Creepers yet.
Put in Florida man creeper and see what comes up.
There's going to be so many results. Like, that's just asking for a result. Florida man yeah, and there's yep, there we go.
There always is.
I'm on Google and all I see is just mugshot after mugshot after mugshot after mugshot. God.
Dude, what is it about that state? Like,
I don't know.
Other places in America are just as weird, but what is it about Florida?
I think it's just because evolution passed over Alabama, and it must have jumped to like Florida, but we must have gotten like an irradiated version or something. I don't know. Because
like realistically, that should be Louisiana.
Yeah, but
like, Louisiana should be nuts, but it's not. Everyone's just laid back.
It's the heat. I like Shiny Bree's answer. It is the heat. The heat, definitely.
That's
when it's 110 in the shade, yeah, something's.
It's due to the laws. The heat, definitely, and the Gators. But look, they've got the heat in Texas. They've got the heat in Louisiana and all. And like Texas can be bad, but by the way, did anyone see that picture recently? It was going around on Twitter. It had it's a Florida man type thing, but it happened in Texas. Some dude tried to rob a convenience store in Texas, and he was shot by everyone in the store.
Oh my God, that's a Texas thing if there ever was
like
one.
6 or 7 people drew guns and shot this dude. It's like, that's a Darwin Award. Like, what were you doing? Like, everyone and their grandmother is packing heat. Like, what were you doing?
Florida is too close to the Bermuda Triangle.
That's it. That's it. It's the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes, Safi Deadhaus will have specific weather. There actually is going to be a planned anyway. There's going to be a planned gameplay mechanic where weather and the time of day, the time of like the stars are aligning, all that stuff. There's going to be a full equinox and like weather system for Deadhaus, and it's going to play into characters. So if you're a vampire during the day, rather than losing your power in traditional myth, it's going to weaken you and stuff like that, rather than like die and blow you up and everything. And you'll be stronger at night. There might be, liches who cast spells to like buff your vampire character, to make it darker at night and everything like that. So there will be a weather system. There's going to be a full planetary like alignment thing, for like blood moons and all that kind of stuff.
I found it.
Super rad. Oh, you found it. Great.
I found it. See this?
Yes.
It's the Florida of Deadhaus.
The Florida of Deadhaus. See, now I thought go over a little bit to Thracia. Yeah, like
no, you see, look there. So this is the Thasian Empire, right?
Yeah.
So this is the realms of man. This
okay,
is
so
like
I guess
this whole area here, right? But
Isoth
Isoth seems to be
like
the name of this continent.
Yeah, that's
and then this one is Atan.
With the dragons. Atan has dragons.
Dreams. This is going to get updated soon, by the way. I have that on good authority. Was it cool? I feel like if vampires are the only one who get weak during the day or night, they got to be OP during night. I don't think they are. I think not all of them are weak during the day, But there are some, like ghouls will hide also during the day. I don't think sun will kill them, but they are significantly weakened. I don't think
I'm
Banshee
interested
can
in
go out
seeing
during
how
the
that's
day
going to work
either.
out.
Cornson, there are more guns than cars in the USA, the country famous for 8-sided roads. I've been on I-10. I have no idea how anyone drives in the US, let alone drives a motorcycle. I have no idea how that works.
No, I don't understand. Like,
You're
okay,
taking your life
you're
in
in
your hand.
Florida. You're in Florida. It's 110 degrees outside. You're in a motorcycle. You're wearing a hot leather jacket, leather pants. You're just full on, 80s
Breaking the
Rob
law.
Halford
Breaking the law.
leather. Yeah, exactly. You're full on Judas Priest biker gear, but you're in Florida. What is wrong with you? How are you not dying right now? Unless you take like all that leather off the moment you get where you're going, and you're wearing like the shortest shorts on the planet.
You're
and, like,
all
the
right as
smallest tank
long as
top.
the bike is moving. Once
Yeah.
you're over like 40 miles an hour, like you're cool. That's fine. You're actually going to get cold. You need that leather to stay warm. Your knees and your hands will freeze very quickly. But yeah, like you said, the minute you stop, that's where the problem comes in.
Blood Moon would go amazing with Blood Rain. Blood Orange. Man, Blood Oranges are so good. But yeah.
In the Netherlands, 4 lanes, 2 each way is a large road. Yeah, in America, they got 4 going each way.
Yeah.
I-10 actually had, what was it? I think it was like 5, but the 2 middle lanes, it had this weird thing where they move the lanes over in the morning and back in the evening to facilitate like rush hour traffic. So they did these concrete things in the middle of the road, and there was a truck that went along and like shifted them over a lane. Have you ever seen that, Calypso?
Yeah, that's here in Florida. We have that on our I-5 and our I-4 and everything.
That's completely new and weird for me.
It's bonkers. I take it sometimes when I have to take a cab or whatever. I don't drive, so I don't care. But I mean, I can imagine for people who do drive, it is a bother. It is totally a bother.
Man, I'd be having a mannequin and I'd be in that carpool lane constantly.
No, we tailgated to Publix yesterday, which is our like grocery store here.
What does tailgated mean?
Tailgated. Sorry. That's right. You don't know what that is. So tailgating is your fault. You're like car. What's that game? Dun 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 dun.
Conga line.
Conga line. There we go. It's a car conga line. Thank you. Like you're following someone who's following you, who's following you.
That's called a caravan.
Oh. If it's like more than 2 people, if it's 2 cars, it's tailgating so no, there we go.
Shiny with the potty mouth again. The best is Jack's response. Yeah. So you were tailgating anyway.
We were just tailgating to Publix, and I had a point, but I lost it. Moving on.
Moving swiftly along.
Yeah.
So the vampire, the noblesse sent a vampire to the western reaches.
Which is
here's the eastern reaches.
Why am I pointing?
That's the northern reaches.
The western, in Memento Mori, it was like
in the ruins of Oscarox. Right there.
Was it near the ruins of Oscarox, or is that Oscarox?
No, that is the ruins of Oscarox, but they sent a vampire to the, I'm guessing here?
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to point there.
That's north. I'm assuming that's, I love the way you're pointing to it on
I know,
your
screen. I was trying to point, like it's right here, buddy.
It's called death if I'm in my truck.
Yes, that too. But you got to be smart about it.
Tailgate is when you're so close that if they brake test you, you slam them.
Yeah, car conga line, exactly. Like
or a caravan, the actual
or a
use
caravan,
of it.
A caravan.
Like whenever they, like done it across the Silk Road, like for hundreds of years.
Yeah. But
caravan ain't just something you park in the trailer park, boys and girls. You see, the more you learn. That's my money is here.
Oh no, I think it's there. If you go back and you pause Memento Mori a billion times, it's totally right there. Like it stops right there, and then it zooms in slightly to the right to where the pillars are. Like right around there. Like
That the pillars? That don't look like the
no,
pillars.
no. I think no. Go down. It's like right Empire. It's like between the word Empire. It's like around there. The word Empire is where like the pillars are. I think they're not on
That's
the
the
map. They're not
Apel
physically shown
reaches.
on the map.
That's the Apel reaches.
Yeah.
But one car
Yeah.
can tailgate another. It isn't a line of cars. That's just called a mess. Or Monday morning if you have a day job.
Yeah, or Sunday because church for whatever reason. Why are there people up at like 6 in the morning and going to church? Like no
They're
church
those
is open that
annoying people
early.
that get up early in the morning that actually that like enjoy it, not that have to do it for work. The people that are like, yes, dawn has broke. It is 5:35. I must awake. It's like
the rooster sings and so must I. Like if a rooster can wake up screaming, then so can I.
I always think of that. Like that's always so horrifying. Everyone's like, "Oh, I just had a rooster crowing in the morning." It's like,
No, they're
could you imagine
fuel.
some frat boy Chad jumping on to the roof of whatever drinking den they were in the night before and going, "Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what's happening."
Yeah,
It's like rooster Chad jumping, going, "Roar!"
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
I don't know
you
who
would shoot that dude.
I don't know who owns one, but someone who lives close to me must own a rooster because there is one literally, like I live in an apartment complex and here's me and here's the other one, right? Literally across the street, I hear a rooster crowing and screaming and squealing. And it's like they have to own it.
Who wants rotisserie chicken for dinner?
Roosters are what made the shotgun. Yeah, that loud bang is really just a rooster going, like yelling. I wake up at dawn's light, and that's why I close the curtains. Oh man,
a little bit of Alice in Chains for y'all there.
What's the poem? What's the my enemies must die by dawn's light? I think is one of the poems from the Deadhaus Bible for the summoning. That's what it is for the summoning. Yeah, what you got me thinking about that Wyvern Tamer.
Fort Zastrus is familiar as well.
Well, that's the one that's owned by
Zaistra.
Zaistra. No, I was like, which is the one?
Fort Zaistra is the one that's left. I think that might be migrating to being Gelrus now.
Well, no, isn't Fort Zaistra where the Revenant attack happened in the radio play? Yeah.
Yep. Okay. But remember before they mentioned about Zaistra and the area being like at the town that's kind of ruled over, that's Gelrus.
Yeah. But then Gelrus is ruled by
Fort Zaistra is the Revenant. Wyvern Tamer got it. Yeah.
Thanks, Wyvern Tamer.
Yeah. For anyone listening to this later on Spotify, I apologize. You can go to worldanvil.com/w/Deadhaus. And you can keep an eye because we're very vocal on where I'm circling here at the minute. So we're right in on the Deadhaus. I'm loving the old crown, by the way. Again, this is being updated soon because there is something that has moved.
Have they changed the map already, which is still not final?
There is a particular bit. I don't think it's actually on this map. I think it's been removed.
Have the old Negosimo one.
And the city of Anumat, I don't think is now in the middle.
No, Anumat is gone. They have removed Anumat from the map.
Yeah, because that's now somewhere else.
I think I think this might have just been a talk between me and Varric. Mm-hmm. So sorry, Varric, I'm totally going to out you on this. We talked about maybe Anumat is another dimension. And like an
underworld or something.
Yeah, like it is the Undercity, that we were talking about earlier in the very beginning of this stream, is that the Undercity may or may not be Anumat. Ancient denizens, elder beings, elder gods would be Anumat, perhaps.
Banshee Town.
If the skull stays, and when we get in the game, the skull is an actual skull of.
If you played Blood Omen,
dude, it's totally going to be
Retreat.
Yeah, it's totally going to be a giant friggin' skull that is, Yeah, there's no way you can't not see that and not think Nepraptor's Retreat from Blood Omen if you've played it.
Even the quote, Nepraptor.
Mm-hmm.
I knew him well.
Yeah.
Well, not really.
Yeah, the Blood
I
Omen
just want that one line, my favorite line of the whole thing. Back away, peasant. The stench of the fields hangs over you like a pall.
Yeah. The king sees no one.
Out of my way, peasant. Yeah. I have used that in real life.
Man, no, I quote. There's a bunch of video games that I quote it and everything. Blood Omen and Soul Reaver and stuff are like a bunch of them, and it gets me sad that nobody knows what I'm saying, But at the same time, I love using game quotes or whatever in my real life.
I do, but I feel The Witcher is cheating because I live in Ireland, so winds howling is quite a common phrase.
Oh, man. It starts to rain. Looks like rain.
That's twice to 3 times a day here.
Yeah. No, wait. I can't wait for summer in Florida because then I will be in a hotter Ireland because it'll just rain every 5 minutes.
How would Deadhaus be ignorant to Giga House if they're literally using a giant skull? Well, that's an interesting one. With stop pointing out the plot holes. I think that whatever was there in regards to the giants, I think it was sheltered from Deadhaus. I think there may have been undead that knew what giants were, like individually, but I don't think Deadhaus as a group knew, because before Nagaztak there was no group.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of undead. It's Nagaztak who brought them together, who rallied all the dead together. Like, Deadhaus didn't exist until Nagaztak became emperor and, rallied all the undead together to form Deadhaus. Other than that, they were just a bunch of undead running around. Like, liches were just liches, doing their own thing.
But they were liches, so they didn't say anything. So, right, we've got this big area here that's apparently ours, right? This is a really big area too.
Yeah, I think you pointed this out last time also. Is that if you look at the map, for people listening, if you look at the map on World Anvil, or if you've seen it before, I'm sure if you just Google Deadhaus Sonata, you'll find the map. But you got green everywhere, and then you have spots that are brown and decayed, almost like it's dying, like the world is dying, whether it's be a bit set on fire or just dead earth. So that might indicate the spread of Deadhaus taking over the world. And you also have a sea monster.
This is the Here They Be Dragons bit. The grim expanse.
That's such a cool name for like an ocean. Sea of Dreams, I think, is one of my favorite things too. I love Sea of Dreams.
The Ostilian Sea. The Dead Sea. Wait a minute. That's not the Dead Sea. Mermaids. Mermaid House confirmed.
Mermaid House. Man, if there's not, mermaids in some way.
Rage.
Oh, and the Grim Expanse is pretty bad. See, and then you have the North, which is where
that's named, and I didn't realize that before.
Is it named? I don't think it was named before. What's the name? Zoom in.
Ice Water Mansion.
Someone rich is going to be living there. Team Mermaid. # Team
Malik.
Will it be Malik's? Do you think it'll be like the Malik's Bastion?
Well, he was
the Ice Water Mansion,
place, isn't he? My second class confirm. Oh God. Shiny mermaid house.
Oh, Wyvern Tamer points it out every time. Well, gee, thanks, Wyvern Tamer.
Call your dogs. They can feast on your corpses. My second class confirmed. So great. Shiny the Sea Hag.
Yeah. Ooh, a Banshee mermaid skin. Like scales. That'd be neat. Just for cosmetic stuff. Even though they're like just.
That's on wait. Remember there was this phase on like Instagram and all these other ones. It's like, I'm a unicorn and then I'm a mermaid. And it's like, screw all that. I want to be a witch. I think it's time for the Day of the Banshee.
Yeah.
Let them all be wailing online. It's like, get the Banshee aesthetic,
It'll happen.
Bring back that 90s heroin chic.
Deadhaus, when Deadhaus comes out, all the anime cosplay girls are going to start cosplaying Banshee.
Could start
Jeff,
getting, who's that one, like
Jeff.
ColourPop and all these other ones to start doing like
Yeah.
the Deadhaus palettes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh,
All
that'll
ash.
be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, just gray
A
and blue.
banshee mermaid would be sick, but they're both death omens. How would that work?
I don't know. I asked several
What's
months
the difference?
back. I asked several months back, is it Corn Son? I think that's your name. I'm saying it right.
Yeah, Corn Son, yeah.
Cool. I asked several months back if there was going to be. Oh, thank you. I asked several months back if there was going to be an aquatic house, and both Jack and Dennis said they could not deny the possibility. So that means they can neither confirm nor deny the possibility of an aquatic house. But the theory for that, my theory anyway, at least, is that there's going to be some sort of Cthulhu house, like, elder god beings, and those are just fish people.
The House of Dagon.
Yeah, exactly. A Dagon house, an esoteric order of Chaturga, or what the hell these elder gods.
Yeah, they're like, we want mermaids. Not what we're making, you won't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like crab people. Like, it'll totally be a thing.
Of like the upper torso of a woman and the lower torso of a fish. It goes the other way too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, reverse mermaids. We did get into that chat. Like, are there going to be fish people faces, but then like really sexy legs?
Get the Innsmouth look.
Yeah. Mermaid and unicorns have been done to death. Yes, but I mean, have you ever seen a super ripped werewolf unicorn, Safi? Like, like Doomslayer style, but it's the freaking unicorn. Reverse driders. What are driders?
I'm still trying to figure out the jackalope.
Aren't they just bunny rabbits with horns
and wings?
And wings. They got wings now.
And only drunk people in Texas seem to see them.
Yeah,
I was in a bar called the Jackalope in Austin, and they had a giant jackalope outside it.
That's awesome.
That's not going to help when you fall out of that place. Hammered.
I would like a jackalope pet. Yeah, you're dead. It's gonna be like Tusk the movie, only with a jackalope.
Driders are spider people.
No, thank you,
Witch of Isolith. That could be fun.
Driders are elves with spider yeah, F that, dude. F Driders. No thanks. I'd take a jackalope any day over a Drider. Jeez. We were talking about what do you call it? I think they're called the Australian owl spider or something. Something along those lines. But they're
the wolf big. Spider you're talking about. No,
the wolf spider. They can eat birds, man. They're so big. They can eat birds.
I'm shocked they didn't come from Florida, to be honest with you. They look like they should be in Florida.
It probably is. It might be maybe it was Florida, and then they just decided to jump on a bird that they ate and fly to Australia.
Dennis flaunted both the idea of an eldritch house and an aquatic house.
Ooh, I would like them combined, because eldritch house and aquatic, they just go together.
Yeah, I was going to say, they are not mutually exclusive. You've played Bloodborne, right?
I have not. Do you have? I don't have a PS4, man. And they haven't released it on PC yet.
Brutal Corn is a muscular unicorn. I posted it in Mike's Discord, and I am not clicking that live on air. I'm not falling for that one. That's how you get. That's how we get banned off Twitch.
What's the? I think one of our community members, our Tashir, I believe is his name. He did some awesome werecorn artwork. It's like super buff.
Why does everything have to be were? There was were rabbits and were slows.
If we don't get a were bunny and a were badger, I'll be very disappointed. We've talked about this. I'll be very disappointed.
I'd be more concerned about the were mink. Do you not remember that story from the start of this plague?
Bicorn. I don't. What were mink?
There was a load of mink that were killed because they were like infected or some crap. They were going to be farming them for their like fur, and like during this pandemic, and they like killed a lot of them and like dumped them in this mass grave thing. Yes, they did.
What?
Zombie mink. Like, Google it. Google zombie mink.
That's scary. That's really scary.
Crabs and spiders have a common ancestor. Will not make obvious joke. Will not make obvious joke.
Womp womp. Wow, F that. Cold, I almost said something completely different. Cold mink rise from the dead to Denmark's horror. What?
Told you. Told you.
No, thank you.
Zombie mink will walk the earth.
Yes, Artashir. Thank you, Wyvern Tamer, for being our info person for these streams. Thanks.
We shall consult the oracle. Wyvern Tamer, what was it?
Tamer, what was Wyvern Tamer is the Wikipedia. We don't have Zan here, so he's the Wikipedia for today.
Yeah, if Zan is the lore keeper, we should refer to Wyvern Tamer then just as the oracle.
Yeah.
The oracle of Deadhaus. It was the gases of decomp pushing them out of their shallow graves, and that's the story the public
rose. Yeah, they rose from the Wyvernpedia is going to be your new name when you're on these streams.
Wyvernpedia.
Wyvernpedia. Ask Taver, like ask Jeeves, but ask Wyvern Tamer. That's dead now too. We were talking about at work a bunch of old, like Space Jam, the old 90s Space Jam site has finally been updated to the sequel.
Don't get me started on Space Jam.
Breaks my heart, man. My God. Breaks my heart.
Look, I get it. It's a fun popcorn flick, but the controversy surrounded has already ruined it for me.
Oh, I'm totally mad. Lola Bunny's bae. I'm not gonna.
But think about this, right? Pepe Le Pew bad, Clockwork Orange okay.
Yeah,
we can't say those words on Twitch.
And the Jokers, and you got Danny DeVito penguin who bites a dude's nose off in the first 20 minutes of that movie. Like,
how about a bit of the old ultra violence?
I don't know. The dragon soul awakened. Oracle Wyvern Tamer, the dragon soul awakened. Yeah, dude, that's sick.
That's how you do it.
Sick. Yeah. Now you just got to change your name on Discord to that.
Yep. What was I going to say? Yeah, so height and size of it, story-wise, we're still throwing stuff at the wall and have no idea where we're going with it.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of speculation for now until, we officially get details whenever that will be. So,
well, on that, there will be stuff coming pretty soon.
I believe next... You said next of Whites. There's going to be another radio play.
Whites is next week, and then that'll be all the
of Whites
first class radio plays.
Oh, that's right. And it's only one. It's only of Whites 1 and of White and Banshees 1. So that means there's going to be of Banshees 2 and 3.
Not necessarily.
I mean, why not though?
Could be interesting. Although before we go, I just wanted to leave Nick with a little head. But we've got that, and Dennis dropping in, spilling the beans as always.
Yes. So Dennis will eventually. I mean, we're trying to get Dennis on this thing, aren't we?
Eventually, in age 20 plus, I'm going to make a Draco Lich. You'll be able to get a Draco Lich if you roll Vampire.
Yes, that will be a transformation for them.
Yep. So, Calypso, since it's your birthday, we'll have to end with you getting a little ahead. So there you go.
Yes. I guess this is us to start wrapping up, guys. So thank you for joining us on Deadhaus Whispers in what's been a bit of a hodgepodge, but it was a fun one.
And if anyone wanted to give us a shout out, you can follow Calypso at the Necrolibriatus on Twitter. You can follow myself at the Faceless Mike on Twitter. Don't forget to follow Deadhaus. And if you want to jump onto the podcast and shoot the shit with us, you just let us know.
Yeah.
Message us, give us a shout on the Discords, on the Twatters, on the anything. Mm-hmm. And because this is always a nice little bit of a chill out time where we get to discuss our favorite game and wander off into wildly varying and different topics. Mm-hmm. Don't care about that model. Give me the white Wyvern Tamer. Yeah, Wyvern Tamer's been egging for that radio play for a while.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good because George has done a bang up job for all of them so far. So far, Lich is my favorite out of all of them, but he's been really great. And they're available as podcasts now. I think I said this earlier. The radio plays that you can find on YouTube are now available as podcasts on Amazon, on Spotify, on iTunes, you name it, it's there. I actually highly recommend listening to them as podcasts, like in the pure audio form. They've been remixed and re-edited to sound much, much better. I think way better than their YouTube counterpart. So listen to them. They are all available now, and Of Whites will be up there eventually whenever we get the Of Whites next week. I'm sure it'll show up on.
It'll show up fairly quick. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So I highly recommend re-listening to them. You know, just sit down for like 20 minutes, just pop them all on. It's just so good, especially George. George has the voice of gold. You know, he could read a dictionary and it'll sound good, right?
True.
So
Very
yeah,
true.
like I'm pretty sure he's also going to be the voice of Alric. Maybe it would be interesting. But yeah, so yes, this has been Deadhaus Whispers. I'm Calypso, Faceless Mike also, deadhausonata.com, Deadhaus Game on Twitter, Faceless Mike / Twitch TV / Faceless Mike, or what is it? Twitch.tv / Faceless Mike.
I was waiting to see how far you'd get before I'd put it up.
Yeah.
It's twitch.tv /faceless.
/ Faceless Mike. Same thing for me, only replace the Faceless Mike with Calypso694. Yes, we're everywhere. Thanks for coming to Deadhaus Whispers, and everybody. Ve Victus, fight the living.
Fight the living.
Fight the living. And see you guys next time.
See ya.